All right, welcome back, guys, or welcome if this is your first time here. I'm Vision here with Blind Entertainment, bringing you guys another video. Today, I'm going to be doing another Walking Dead Wednesday video. Today's topic, I'm going to be talking about Rick Grimes, the last episode, giving some thoughts and predictions on the episode itself, breaking down the trailer and some images we got regarding the final episode. So if The Walking Dead is something you're interested in, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and hit that bell icon. That way you don't miss more Walking Dead content from me in the future. Now let's begin. Now right away we're going to start off with Rick in the hospital. Now if you watch Talking Dead, you saw the sneak peek where it shows season 9 Rick telling a season 1 Rick to wake up. And at the end of it all, you hear Morgan's voice asking the season 1 Rick, or I don't know if it's that or if it's season 9 Rick, what's your wound? Calling back to the premiere. And then also in the trailer, you see a crow, a flock of crows or whatever you call them, heading towards the hospital, and then they turn into helicopters. Don't really care for that. I'm really hoping it's misdirection for Rick leaving on the helicopter. I don't want him to leave on the helicopter. But I think the episode will begin right with that scene, and then at the end, right where they cut off, Rick will wake up, because at the end I think he did lose consciousness. He'll wake up and he'll hallucinate seeing Morgan like bent over next to him, because I think it'd be stupid and idiotic that Morgan wouldn't physically appear in this episode. I'm already mad that they put him on Fear and he's not going to get an actual real final scene with Rick. So I'm really hoping that they give him an actual hallucination, because I want that. I want to see Rick and Morgan, even if it's just a hallucination, appear together. I really want to see that. Like I said, I'm mad that they put him on Fear. On the topic of Fear, I'm just going to bring this up quick. If you're interested in me doing Fear the Walking Dead reviews for the last few episodes, I stopped at like episode 6 or whatever. Let me know if you want me to continue with those in the comment section down below. But moving on, I think he's gonna hallucinate that, and Morgan is gonna kind of give him some speech and give him some kind of courage, and he's gonna pull himself off the rebar and get on the horse and start riding the horse and trying to redirect the herd away, similar to what he was originally planning to do. I'm just very interested to see how they started off. The horse is another thing I'm confused about, because, like, one, we didn't see the horse in the end shot of the episode, and two, if Rick passed out, how did the walkers not devour that horse? It's just inconsistency there, it feels like. Unless they explain it very well, I feel like that'd just be a little inconsistent. I feel like the horse should have been devoured in the end of last episode, but maybe it's just me not thinking things straight. So next, while Rick's leading the herd, trying to lead the herd of walkers away from the camp, I think he's gonna hallucinate him right back in season 1 riding into Atlanta, and I really like how they did this callback here. Really beautiful shot of him riding into Atlanta again with the walkers following him. I really love that. I think eventually, though, he's going to go into the city. He's going to see Shane sitting in a cop car. And now this is a part where I feel weird about. It's like, I feel like and I'm predicting this, he's probably going to get off his horse and just go sit in the car with Shane, which feels a little weird. I think it'd be better if, like, they stood and had a conversation. I get they want the nostalgic scene of them in the car and then looking out at the whole hit the crash that happened where Rick got shot. I understand that, but I think it would have been a little bit better and more, I don't know, come off a little better if they had them standing next to each other. Maybe if they did it like where it depends on how they are bringing Shane back. If it's gonna be friend Shane or enemy Shane, it all depends. I think they're probably going for friend Shane since he's in the cop car. But I feel like it would have been better if like they had him riding, then it switched maybe to like Herschel's farm or something, and he got off the horse and he saw like Shane standing there. Maybe they could even have like his wound from where Rick stabbed him, like, and he's alive, like a hallucination of him being alive, and they have this talk standing next to each other. I think that'd be interesting, they could even still have it be friends or whatever. They don't have to be enemies there in that scene, but I think it's just a little bit weird that he gets off the horse and then climbs in the car and sits. I feel like it would have come off a little bit better if they were standing. But I'm overall excited for that scene, and I can't wait to see what goes on with Shane and Rick in their last scene together. That's one thing I'm very hyped for. I love that idea, and I think that's really cool, and I really am excited to see how they end that scene with the two of them as if it's a friend scene or if it's an enemy scene. That's something I'm very interested to see how they pull off. Now back to the hospital stuff. I think eventually Rick from this time, or season 9, I guess you'd say, maybe leaves the room. He goes down the hallway, or it could be even season 1 Rick, and then he turns into season 9 Rick later on. But I think he's gonna walk down the hallway. And I love the callback to season 1 where it says "Don't open," but this time instead of saying "dead inside," it says "dead outside." And now I think, unlike in season 1 where as she goes through those doors, where he didn't go through those doors. I think this time he's gonna go through the doors, and that's where we see in the trailer where he's standing in that giant pile of bodies. Now, I love this shot. I absolutely love this shot. One of my favorite shots from the trailer or of this upcoming episode. Like, really cool. And for those of you who don't read the comics or unaware, this is actually pretty much paying homage or even ripped from the cover itself of a variant cover for issue 100. And I love it. It's just so beautiful right here. And I'm very excited to see what they do here, because I feel like they're gonna have Rick like wandering through this pile of bodies. And if you look at it, you see he lost. Now in the cover of the comic, it was only people that Rick had lost in this up until this point. However, if you look at this shot here, you can see people like Jesus and Carol. So I think they're going to remix it in a way where it's everybody that he's lost, but everybody else that he could have lost. So I think he's going to probably maybe like make his way through the bodies, see people. You'll probably see certain people here and there, like maybe like Herschel. I don't think this is where like Herschel and them will come in, but I think like he's going to have these moments where he goes through the bodies and sees people like Merle maybe. Like it doesn't have to actually be that physical person. They could easily use other things to do it, like CGI or whatever. I kind of hope it's the actual people, but I think they could easily do it. I think maybe like he'll see the governor, maybe even someone from Terminus, maybe I don't know, maybe Bob. I think that'd be something. Deanna, Spencer, some of those people. I think some of the lesser known like B-list characters, I think I'll see in the pile. But I love it. I think this is so beautiful. And I think that eventually is going to be what snaps Rick out of his hallucinations for a short time as he's leading the herd back away. But then he realizes that it's impossible and he has to get them to the bridge. So I think that's a beautiful scene right here. I love it. It's such an amazing like shot here of them back. I put the thing you can see here back to back. I really love how they did that. It's such a beautiful scene. I think they're going for I think they're doing like Tyrese's death, but on steroids. Like this is gonna, I think easily this could be probably one of the best episodes of The Walking Dead, depending on how you feel about Rick's departure. I'm okay with it. I've come to and made my peace of it, so I'm gonna be all right with it. I'm going to keep watching it, but I think this could easily, I might have to go back and revise my list of the best episodes, because I think this could easily be one of my new best episodes of the entire series. So, like I said, I think Rick is going to eventually lead them back to the bridge, as you can see here, taking the advice from Daryl and realizing he can't physically do it. He's too weak and he's just not going to be able to. And that's where we get the scene here where Rick's bent over. Probably the walkers came on and destroyed the bridge. Now this is the part where it gets iffy. How did if the bridge wasn't strong enough to hold them all and they fell for the water, how is like all these people running to help Rick or save him or whatever? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I feel like there's something iffy going on, unless part of the bridge collapsed and the other half was still stable. But still, they said it's unstable. How are all these people running across it? That's another thing I'm kind of getting iffy on. As for another thing, we see Jerry and we see Diane, who was with Maggie here at this scene. As I know it's a little blurry, so go back and watch the season 9 trailer. You can see it a little bit better. But you see Diane, so you know Maggie is here most likely. I'm going to get into that in a minute. Also, we can see Eugene running there. It's a little blurry again. I apologize if you can't see it very well. So it's pretty obvious that Maggie will be there most likely. I don't see why Diane would be there, but Maggie not. I mean, sure, they could split up, but it just doesn't make any sense. I think Maggie will be there for Rick's final moments. And I think after that, they either help Rick kill the surrounding walkers and get him safely back to like one of the campsites, and that's where we're seeing him here in bed. I think he's like in the medical tent or something and being treated or whatever. I think that's what they're going for. He'll probably see more hallucinations there of like Sasha maybe he'll hallucinate Herschel's his doctor while Enid or Sadiq's healing him or whatever. He'll probably hallucinate seeing Herschel there. I've also heard rumors that Beth's coming back in this episode. Don't totally understand why. She wasn't really a big character for Rick. Maybe that's something to do with like him thinking about who's going to be taking care of Judith. I don't know. Maybe it's something to do with that. I don't know. I'm very excited though. I think that they're setting this up very well, and I'm very interested to see how this whole thing plays out. So back to Maggie, like I said, I do think Maggie will be there. If you saw the sneak peek on AMC's website, you see her and Michonne talking at Alexandria, so we know she makes it there, as we saw towards the end of last week's episode. However, I kind of feel like that's going to be plot device. I think they're having Maggie go there and meet with Michonne. They talk. Maybe she goes down there, confronts Negan, and they have a chat before, and then it's interrupted. Maggie can't complete what she came here to do, and Michonne runs in with the news of Rick. Someone relayed the message, and it's just kind of, one, we get the scene with Maggie and Negan, which is possibly maybe going to happen, or two, they're having that conversation, and right as the scene cuts, that's when someone relays the message, and she can't have that conversation with Negan, and maybe they hold it off for episode 6. That's very well possible. The only thing I have a issue with is why would you wait like 5 or so years, according to what the rumored time jump is, to go confront Negan? That's an iffy thing I have there. That doesn't make much sense. So she most likely will confront Negan, possibly get interrupted by the news of Rick, and then that's when they rush off and head to the bridge. Because I do think we're gonna get a goodbye with Michonne and Rick. It doesn't make any sense why we wouldn't. Even though here we see them talking in the woods, I think that's a hallucination. They look a little bit too happy for it to be the real thing. I think it's just a hallucination. And then later on, Michonne and Maggie arrive with Diane and get there. I don't know. I feel like that's how it's going to work a little better. I think that they're going to Daryl's going to get back, tell everybody, this is what's going on. Maybe they see Rick get back to camp. They relay the message, and then they get to the bridge right when Rick gets there and it collapses or something. I don't know. Time-wise, it's a little iffy, but I do think, though, that's how they're doing it. They're kind of using it for a plot device in a sense, just so Maggie can be there, because it doesn't make sense why Maggie wouldn't be there. I feel like they need to have Maggie there. So last, I'm going to end it off with a question to you guys. If you could pick 5 to 10 characters, say, for Rick's last episode, what 5 or 10 characters would you bring back for this episode? I'm going to give my list here would probably be Lori, Carl, Shane, Dale, Herschel, Glenn, possibly Andrea, maybe Abraham and Tyrese, and to end it off, I think I'd possibly I definitely have Morgan. Morgan is a definite. I have those 10 characters. Since Morgan's not here, he's on this list. But I want to know, what is your 10 or 5 characters you definitely bring back if you could make your dream team for characters to appear for Rick's last episode? Let me know in the comment section down below, and let's have a nice lively conversation about what we think's going to happen in this final episode with Rick. How are you feeling? Are you hyped? Are you sad? How are you feeling? One thing I also want to mention here is I love this picture here with Rick most likely laying on the ground holding his gun. I don't know how to call what kind of gun it is. I forget what it's called. It's the Colt Python or whatever. I think this most likely will be one of Rick's last scenes, as he's laying down dying or something, and he kind of takes his last breath. He releases his hand on the gun or something, and that's it for Rick. But I love this picture. It's so cool looking. I absolutely love it. But like I said, read those thoughts and opinions and answer that question in the comment section down below, and let's see what characters we would like to see come back if we could pick for Rick's last episode. So yeah, guys, that's it for this Walking Dead Wednesday video. If you have a suggestion for a topic you'd like to see me cover for a future Walking Dead Wednesday video, let me know in the comment section down below, and I might pick yours for future video. As always, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and share. And don't forget to subscribe down below and hit that bell icon. That way you don't miss any more Walking Dead content from me in the future. This has been Vision here with Blind Entertainment, and I'll see you next time.